In today's video, I'm going to walk you through this document, which shows every single major update to Google Ads this year. I'm going to give you my thoughts on these updates, with a focus on what's relevant for e-commerce businesses and what actions you need to take to stay ahead of your competition. If you're new to my channel, my name is Daryl and I run an e-commerce ads agency called BigFlag. For the past 12 years with my agency, I've been focused on growing e-commerce businesses with Google Ads. I post weekly videos about Google Ads and e-commerce growth. All right, with that said, let's dive into the document. All right, guys, so let's dive into it. Look at all this stuff. So this is just a visual summary of all the biggest, latest releases this year, and it's broken down by section: measurement, performance max, creative solutions. So we've got the sections down here. And we're going to be focusing on what is important for e-commerce advertisers today, guys. So I want to focus on actionable stuff. Now, I haven't really read this document in great detail yet, so this is going to be like my first reactions to everything in here as well. So let's go on down to measurement, and yeah, so this is a new section inside your Google Ads account. It's called Data Manager, and it's basically just pulling in the data management controls that were scattered across Google Ads before into one handy, easy place. First-party data in more secure ways. Tag diagnostics are available inside of Google Ads. Additional control for consent collection, that's going to be for EU advertisers. So this is mostly just some upgrades in terms of usability and making conversion tracking just a bit easier to see what's going on and to be able to diagnose issues. But generally speaking, conversion tracking is a thing where you set it up correctly in the beginning, make sure you're tracking revenue, make sure conversions are tracking properly, and then hopefully then your conversion tracking just always works and you don't actually need all the tools like tag diagnostics. Tag diagnostics is going to be for when something's broken or you need to figure out where an issue with your tag is. So the most of the time we won't be using these features all that much. Like, we're going to use them when we set up an account. So if you're new to Google Ads, you're probably going to want to use this stuff here to make sure your conversion tracking is correct. But usually once conversion tracking is correct, it doesn't break unless you change something on your site. So let's scroll past this one because I really want to focus on what's actionable that can make you guys more money and boost your revenue and profit. And tracking is just one of those things that you hopefully can just set and forget. Okay, search. Let's talk search. Search has ads inside of AI overviews now. So Google is, in case you don't know, probably do unless you've been sitting under a rock, Google now serves AI results within the search listings. And what we're seeing here is that ads are now inside AI overviews. So look, there's an example there. Oh, and look at this. This is something I've been talking about for a while. The ads that are inside the AI overview is clearly a shopping ad. So as I always say, shopping ads are the most important part of e-commerce Google Ads, and they're only becoming more important as the product feed is being now used to put your ads, your product ads, right there into the AI overview. So takeaway action there is, if it's not already on your radar, then product feed optimization, and hopefully it's on your radar because I talk about this all the time on my channel. But if it's not already on your radar, product feed optimization, which means going through all the fields in your product feed and making sure they're keyword rich, making sure your images are good, that's super important. And it's only becoming more important as your product feed is going to be used in more places in Google, including now the AI overviews. And this is exactly the same theme. Once again, your product feed's so important. Shopping ads are now on Google Lens, and this is an increasing behavior with consumers. Like, more and more now, people are snapping a picture of an item they like the look of. Or a Gen Z behavior that's really common nowadays is they'll be watching a reel or a TikTok and they'll screen grab the moment where the creator was using a product or there was a product shown that they like the look of. They'll screen grab it and then they'll go over to Google image search for the thing to see where they can buy it. And once again, this is extending the power of our shopping feeds, of our product feeds, because shopping ads now in Google Lens results. So when the users are uploading images or screen grabs or whatever, and they're trying to look for that product that they saw to buy, Now your shopping ads in your product feed can be shown right there on the results. So there's an example of how it looks there. High performing search campaigns with conversational experience. So yeah, this is just like a chat bot that you can use when you're setting up your search campaigns. If you have any experience with Google Ads, I don't really recommend using this. Maybe this can help you get started if you're totally new to Google Ads, how to set it up or anything about how it works. Maybe that's good. Obviously, I've been doing Google Ads a long time, so I haven't actually used the chatbot. I think it's more for beginners. Refine your branded search campaigns with brand inclusions, benefits of broad match. I'm not so sure about that one, Google. Like Google, wants us to be using broad match. To be fair, broad match is a lot better these days, and I do recommend using it in non-branded campaigns a lot of the time now, whereas just a few years ago, I would almost never have recommended using it. But using it in your branded campaign, Google wants us to use it in the branded campaign, and it's saying, look, we've got this brand inclusions feature, so we're gonna allow you to do a brand inclusion so that you can use broad match in your brand campaign. And I'm just kind of thinking no thanks, Google. I think I'll just stick to my phrase match and exact match when it comes to branded campaigns, at least for now. Who knows? Maybe this thing works. I haven't tested it yet, but that's my initial reaction. Is no thanks. Okay, so these 3 updates here are legit really good, and they have made a big impact on how we're able to target our keywords more efficiently. So you can now apply brand exclusions wherever you need them, including in dynamic search ads. So that's really useful for making sure that campaigns like your dynamic search ads are actually just going out and trying to find new keywords for you, which is what they should do. Instead of just serving ads on your branded campaign, you don't want them doing that. So brand exclusions, nice one. I like it. Recommend using those especially in dynamic search ads. So it's a good point. It's a good note that they've called that out specifically. Brand exclusions, yes, like it. Add just one negative keyword to exclude misspelled variations. I like it. This is good. This just cuts down on the amount of negative keyword work that we need to do. So for example, you can exclude all 1.5 million variations of the word YouTube with just one negative keyword. So previously we would have had to add 1.5 million variations of this word if we wanted to neg out all possible misspellings and variations of the simple word YouTube. Now you don't need to do that. You add YouTube as a negative keyword, it negs out all variations of that. Very good stuff. Find more search terms in the search terms report. Okay, so and now what they're doing is they're rolling up misspelled search queries alongside the proper spelling of that search term, and then that now comes up in your search terms report. So your search terms report for your search campaigns, it's something I recommend you monitor every week, and you want to be looking at it every week. Now there's going to be thousands or tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of search terms in there. You want to use filters, so you only look at things that actually get a bit of spends, things that actually get a bit of impressions, and that's going to cut down on the overload a lot. But this update is good because now more data is going to be showing in our search terms report, which makes that process of weekly checking your search terms report, adding bad keywords as negatives, adding good keywords as positive keywords, that process now becomes a bit more powerful thanks to, all of this really, like negative keywords improvements, search terms improvements. Okay, Pmax. This is the good stuff because Pmax is where a lot of e-commerce advertisers are going to be making the lion's share of their revenue in their Google Ads account. So let's look at what we got. Dive deeper into performance with improved reporting and insights. Yeah, that's true. Like Google has released a lot of upgrades to the reporting and the insights that we get in Pmax this year, and it has legit been good. We do get a lot more insight into what Pmax is actually doing with our accounts these days. It's not perfect, but so there are some scripts you can use that kind of fill in the gaps in the reporting. Okay, so this one is in Pmax. If you go into your asset level report, you can now see conversions next to the assets. So previously we couldn't see this. We just got Google's rating of like best, good, bad. Now we can actually see conversions per creative. Really useful for optimizing your creative. Like you can go into your assets report, check which assets are actually getting conversions and which are getting no conversions. And then as you're looking to improve your assets, you want to learn from that. So you should understand which of your assets were driving more conversions, and you should be thinking about that when you're trying to now find or create new assets in your Pmax campaign to try and outperform the old assets. Okay, this one sounds interesting. Segment and download your asset group performance to conduct deeper analysis of campaign performance. So now we'll be able to see asset group performance by time, conversions, device, and more. Device is quite interesting. Let's not something that we could easily see at the asset group level before. And conversions by time, that will allow you to get a report that just shows you the performance by asset over time. So yeah, that's all useful stuff. We're getting new audience insights. So this means that check your audience insights report for Pmax. It's getting more data. It's got more information in there, and it's just a good practice to always check your audience insights because you can learn stuff there that helps you run your campaign better. Okay, budget pacing insights. I've never really rated Google's budget pacing insights features. They always just recommend you spend loads more than you are right now. And I've always found their predictions using the budget forecast tool to be very optimistic, right? So I'm a bit meh about that, to be honest. Okay, I like this because, in fact, I like it whenever we just get more experiments available in Pmax. One of the drawbacks of Pmax right now is that campaign experiments, it isn't fully integrated with Pmax. So there's a lot of campaign experiments you can run with search that you can't do with Pmax. So now what we can do is run a campaign experiment to actually A/B test where the final URL expansion is legit making a improvement in performance in your account. This is one I should be testing out for sure. I'm going to run these A/B tests, and hey, subscribe to my channel if you want to see the video when I post a video about whatever results I get from this, because this one I'm definitely testing. Oh, this one I absolutely love, guys, and I've been using it ever since it came out. ImpressionShare reporting for Performance Max. It's so important to help you understand if you could be spending more, how you could be spending more profitably, right? So now in Performance Max, this is one of my favorite updates this year, actually. You can pull up, when you're on your campaign screen, you can pull up the ImpressionShare columns, and you will now get data on how much ImpressionShare Performance Max is getting. And you can see search lost impression share due to rank, search lost impression share due to budget. So this allows you to know if you could be getting more sales at the same ROAS just by increasing your budget. It also allows you to know what share of the market you're actually getting. So like if you're getting a really low share of the market, that could be an indicator that you should be trying to spend more and get more of share of the market. And at the same time, if you're getting a really high impression share, that might be an indicator that you don't want to push budgets more in this campaign, right? Like you could hit diminishing returns when your impression share is already very high. So this is great, guys. And you should definitely be using this when you're on your Google Ads screen. Have your impression share columns up at all times. In fact, I'm just going to pull up Google Ads now and show you. So here's what I mean. I've logged into one of my client accounts, and actually I haven't changed my columns. These were the columns that popped up when I logged in because these are the columns I always use. And what you can see is that these three columns are always enabled for me when I'm in Google Ads on the campaign screen. So search impression share, search lost IS due to rank, search lost IS due to budget. These are really important, guys, and we get these columns for Pmax now. So I recommend you have these on your master view campaign screen on Google Ads at all times, and I highly recommend you do the reading to understand what these columns mean and what they do, right? You can look at the help file from Google, understand these columns, and always be looking at them next to cost, revenue, and ROAS. So these columns here are your master columns. So those are such important columns. Okay, back to the doc. Okay, we're getting some more transparency into brand suitability. We can see where ads are serving on YouTube in Pmax now. Third-party verification. Okay, all good. Okay, you can now see where you've served on Search Partner Network and exclude placements as needed. So just a little bit more control here for excluding bad stuff. Yeah, so there's a new modification to new customer acquisition where you can now specifically go after high value new customers. So new customer acquisition, it's a bit more of an advanced strategy, but it can work in your Pmax campaigns to drive more new customers. And high value new customer mode means you're specifically going after the highest value new customers. Okay, so they're beefing up their ad strength indicator. It's an indicator ad strength, right? So they're suggesting that advertisers who get ad strength to excellent see 6% more conversions. I've done tests where I was able to get much more conversions out of my ad copy doing things that actually made ad strength worse. So yeah, I'm not too keen on ad strength indicator as something useful for helping us boost our campaigns, but hey, whatever. The indicator's slightly improved now. Demand gen. Okay, demand gen you can kind of think of as like a discovery type of campaign that goes into Google Display Network and YouTube. It's a bit like Pmax, but it focuses more on top of funnel traffic in Display Network and YouTube. So we've got some updates here. You can now pin video assets using creative preferences. Okay, I'm not sure about that. In my tests for pinning assets in search ads, it always leads to lower ROAS when you pin assets in search ads. So I don't know if this feature is going to be good in demand gen or not, but hey, the feature is there now. If you're running demand gen, you can now pin your assets. Brand suitability of video placements. Okay, so they've lowered the threshold for lookalike segments. You can now create demand gen lookalike segments from an audience of just 100 instead of 1000. Lookalike segments, by the way, is one of the better performing audience types that we get in demand gen. It has actually, for us, done quite well. So it is good that now smaller advertisers can get access to lookalikes. And this is huge as well. So product feeds again, that's coming up again. Product feeds you can now attach to demand gen. We're testing this feature out right now actually with some clients, but I don't have much information for you yet on how well it works, but I think it'll work well because product feeds are just the central place for e-commerce advertisers on Google Ads, and being able to attach them to our demand gen campaigns and get shopping style ad creative in demand gen, that's got to be good. I'm betting that the results on this are going to be good compared to demand gen campaigns with no product feed. You can now manage demand gen campaigns inside Display and Video 360. This is probably not for us or for advertisers like you. This is like for really, really large sort of enterprise level companies would use Display and Video 360. For most of us, for most smaller e-commerce companies, we're just going to be connecting direct through the Google Ads interface. Okay, retail and commerce. Okay, now we're getting a bit juicy. There's an enhanced shopping experience using the new Google Shopping. So there's a deals page and generative AI tools to help users get product recommendations. Let's just have a look at the separate page of this. It's called a big transformation in Google Shopping, okay? So AI is coming to Google Shopping. We're now getting the AI overviews right there inside the shopping tab as well. Personalized results using AI, I would assume. Best prices from best places. Okay, so what we have here is there's a new personalized deal page where you can browse deals for you. Just click the deals link at the top of your page to explore. Here's the deals page. So we can assume that people going to the deals page are going to be price sensitive shoppers, but this is a new thing that has come to shopping ads. So that's just good to know, I guess. Okay, generate branded videos that highlight key attributes and features of your product. This new feature in Product Studio. So Product Studio is a thing you can use inside your Google Merchant Center account. So it now has the capacity to generate branded videos. Yeah, so this is something I talked about earlier in the year. For apparel advertisers only, you can now showcase apparel items on a diverse set of models. It's kind of like a virtual try-on thing where users can try the item on a virtual model right there in the shopping results. So could improve CTR and conversion rate for apparel advertisers. Integrated with loyalty programs, tap into your first party data. This is good. Differentiate your shopping ads for new customers who may be on the fence. You can feature first order promotions for new customers directly in shopping ads from Performance Max and standard shopping campaigns. So good that this feature is coming to both Performance Max and standard shopping. Sometimes these days Google prioritizes new features into Pmax first, but what we can now do is do a first order promotion for new customers. So that could look like 10% off for new customers, 15% off if this is your first order, and those things are just powerful, right? So that is definitely worth trying out, especially if you have a high new customer LTV. Yeah, so Google Merchant Center Next is a thing that's rolled out this year. So your Merchant Center has now turned into Google Merchant Center Next, whole new UI, and you can build reports right there within Google Merchant Center to see your performance metrics next to product attributes. So it's pretty cool. There's some cool reporting stuff that you can now do right inside Google Merchant Center with the new Google Merchant Center Next that we couldn't do before. Automated discounts. This one is kind of nerve-wracking to think about trying out, but you can now determine the most effective sales price with automated discounts in Merchant Center Next. So good if you do actually have full control over your pricing. Sync your in-store availability. So in-store availability information is extracted from your website and automatically added to your Google Merchant Merchant Center next account. So this is useful if you were just plugging your website directly into Google Merchant Center without using a third-party feed management tool. Okay, next we have a whole section on apps. I'm just going to skip over this section because I'm mostly interested in what works for e-commerce today. Creative solutions. Okay, so there's some new stuff we can do with creative generation. Asset generation is now coming to multiple campaign types, Performance Max, Demand Gen. So yeah, it's like this chat box that you can put in. You can put in a load of details about your company and items, and then it starts generating assets for you, which you can then pick and choose when you're building campaigns like Performance Max. So they've upgraded their AI models that generate these assets. So I don't think this is at the point where it can replace normal creative production just yet, but it's good to do alongside normal creative production. So have your normal process for creating your image and video ads, but also you can now start testing out Google's asset generation and start mixing that in to see if you can get higher performance with some of these AI generated creative options. And yeah, you're getting more control now, so you can generate images in your exact style, edit images and easily create new asset variants. So there's new image editing capabilities within the asset generator. We can highlight our products in different settings. So yeah, you can like take a product and then you can take two images. I wonder if they've got an example. No, they don't have an example. You can like take an image of your product and then take an image of a setting, like a background, like on a beach or in a cafe or whatever. And then you can just smush the images together to put your product into that setting. It's pretty cool. It works pretty well actually, that particular feature. Make edits in other campaign types, so AI-powered image editing has expanded beyond Performance Max to other campaign types. So we can now do AI-powered image editing across multiple campaign types. Flip and shorten video ads with the video enhancements. So in summary, there's just a bunch more AI-based creative control coming directly into the Google UI. So we can start creating assets, editing assets, changing up video, and doing all this right there inside the Google Ads UI now. So it integrates with design platforms, so we can upload our assets from design platforms direct into Google. Okay, nice. YouTube. Okay, let's get into YouTube because there have been quite a big number of updates here. So secure the first ad spot and reach viewers most interested in your brand when they're most engaged with first position. That to me, okay, so you can now essentially probably pay more to get the first ad slot, and I would not do that. This is a feature that is geared towards probably like multinational corporations, huge brands who are more concerned with just driving impressions and awareness rather than driving conversions. For me, like YouTube should be run with the conversions focused, and I don't care what position the ad is shown in as long as it's driving revenue. So my preference would not be to use first position bidding. That's not something I'm going to use for direct response e-commerce campaigns. Format buying controls, video view campaigns. Again, this is more for brand and awareness advertisers who aren't as tied to actual sales and conversions as their measure of success. Connected TVs are getting more impressions these days, but still most of your YouTube impressions are going to be coming from mobile, so I recommend optimizing for mobile specifically when doing YouTube ads. So Google is bringing QR codes reporting into YouTube on connected TVs. So this is quite a cool feature where you can set up QR codes within Google that will, when people scan them and then purchase, the whole thing will be tracked back to your YouTube campaign. So that's actually pretty cool. And I do want to give this a go. If you are advertising on YouTube, if you're doing a lot of spend on YouTube for your e-commerce store, I do recommend trying this out, right? It's a way of making YouTube on connected TVs a little bit more responsive, like more direct responsey. This is cool. This is YouTube trying to get into what TikTok is doing, right? So now you can promote creator-made videos as YouTube ads. So this is especially for YouTube Shorts, like creators, if they are out there promoting your products, if they're making videos that feature your product, you can now connect those creator-made videos into your YouTube ads account and see all the data on those videos and promote them as YouTube ads as well. Make the most of creator fan connections with YouTube Select Creator Takeovers. Brands can own 100% share of voice on select top creator channels. So this is a way to just connect with some of your top creators and do a sort of channel takeover. You do need to contact account team to access this opportunity. Okay. And here we go. Here's something that's actually very direct response focused. Sell more products with creators and the expanded YouTube shopping affiliate program. So the program allows you to enable thousands of eligible creators to showcase your products at scale in their videos. You can easily manage the program and view analytics right from inside Google Merchant Center, available in USA. So this is really cool. Like, you can now recruit YouTube creators as affiliates, and when they promote your products in their videos and that generates sales, you can pay them an affiliate commission. So it incentivizes those creators to really focus on actually moving product and selling product for you. Very, very cool update, and I highly recommend looking into this if you are into YouTube or influencers. Okay, so more clarity coming over where our ads are actually being shown. Okay, so we're getting a few more exclusions now that can help refine our YouTube and YouTube Shorts campaigns. Okay, display next. And yeah, as I thought, there aren't a whole lot of display updates. And I'm not surprised. Google Display Network is a lower performing part of the overall Google network for e-commerce anyway. So there's not a lot going on here. There's animate your images, meet users where they are, display ads. Yeah, so Google Display Network can now put ads into X, expand and adjust aspect ratio of uploaded images. Yeah, nothing super exciting on the display. And to be honest, for most e-commerce advertisers, I don't find Google Display Network to be a particularly exciting network to be on. All right, there you have it. We've covered everything important and new in Google Ads for the past year, and I've given you my thoughts on what's important for e-commerce businesses to do based on these updates. The most important part of Google Ads for e-commerce is shopping ads for sure. Whether you are using standard shopping or Performance Max, shopping ads always dominates revenue and profit for e-commerce Google Ads. In this video up here, I will show you how to optimize your Google shopping ads like a pro. And I even give you a copy of the custom GPT I created to automate and improve the process for you. Give this video up here a watch next if you want to improve your shopping ads today.